Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to another episode of Weeaboo Weekly with myself, Geezer HD, and Joda Khan. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing awesome. A little newness on the looks of the show. This goes back to that whole YouTube copyrighty thing and less editing work for me to do when I put it up on YouTube. So hopefully, I forgot to start the goddamn timer again.
Oh my God, I swear.
Okay,
You son of a bitch.
how to start time. There, I started it. And it's just going to go a little bit longer. It's fine. Everything's fine. Tonight we're going to be talking about underrated anime that you should probably check out. Of course, that's going to be after our first break. But first of all, I should have left this in the other order. But and we'll talk about some anime updates first, and then we're going to talk about the homework from last week, Chad. Hopefully, you were good little anime students, good little learning weebs, and did your homework from last week. Which homework from last week was first two episodes of Full Metal Alchemist
Brotherhood.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I have opinions on, Chad. I
Give
have
them to me.
opinions.
Give me them opinions, boy.
I will after you give us our anime updates.
I mean, there's nothing really new. Nothing has started. I mean, everything from
Why'd you put it on the list then?
just cause for next time.
Yeah. And I'm gonna put anime updates on the list, and then have nothing to say about it.
Exactly.
What were you telling me? Some anime news before we started.
See, okay, so that's pretty controversial right now because there's a lot of white knighters
Well, who
going for
cares?
it. But I'm sure anybody who has a Facebook in general or follows any type of con community around here has
Around here.
seen the allegations posted of it against Vic Mignogna.
We literally have people in chat from the UK.
Yep. So the problem is, I mean,
So who is this?
Vic Mignogna is a really popular voice actor. He's actually the English voice actor for Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist. He's done a lot of other stuff. The newest being he was Broly in the new Dragon Ball movie.
Okay.
But so the allegations are essentially saying that he's a creepo, which low-key everyone has already known for a long time, but no one's ever really come out and said anything like personally against him. But now a lot of people are coming out and saying that he's actually been doing things that are inappropriate.
So inappropriate to minors, or
I've read a lot of like
just no consenty touchy.
yeah, essentially that's what's going on. And other voice actors are actually coming out and saying that yeah, he's been like that. But a lot of people are saying, oh well, they're just coming out now. You know, he was in this new movie and he's really popular and people are trying to shit on him. But honestly, everyone that I've known and every con that I go to, people are like, yeah, there's that guy. He's a creepo. I've never actually had any personal interaction. I mean, with him, I've met him. I go to cons a lot.
I'd call that personal interaction.
Not like personal. I mean, we were on an elevator with him one time, but I was like in the corner. Anyway.
Did you say huh?
No, I didn't.
What? Why not?
I don't talk.
Listen.
Yeah,
Get brave.
but that's pretty much the biggest news going on right now. You can look up tons and tons of articles against it. It's pretty awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy because I was looking at Funimation posted something and there were now people are going like in Funimation's comments and saying, "Oh, it's bullshit, you know, none of that shit can be proven." But it's also like, well, with the whole Me Too movement, a lot of people are coming out and talking about things they felt uncomfortable before. So it's kind of like back and forth between people who want to support Vic Mignogna, and then there's also people who want to support people who are coming out and saying stuff against him.
Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a big shitstorm right now. It
Sounds
really
like
is.
Sounds like it. So, did Did you guys do your homework from last week, which was go out and watch episodes 1 and 2 of Full Metal Alchemist? I can't say that.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah. Say it in Japanese.
No.
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 I did watch the first 2 episodes. I actually waited till last night so I didn't have to take notes, so I remember it. But then I watched 2 episodes of JoJo Series 4, which then I wanted to gouge out my eyeballs and stuff. So, and then I deleted Attack on Titan from my queue and added this week's homework to my queue. Which, okay, we'll talk about it at the end of the show. Anyway, so tell me what happened in episodes 1 and 2 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Fuck. So I actually watched it a really long time ago, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna watch it. I've actually unrelated to anything we're doing right now. I've been binge watching Criminal Minds.
Wow.
I know.
That's a weird anime.
It's a good one.
What kind of weeb are you?
Hey, listen to me. I'm on season 13 now. I have been watching really hard, so I've been slacking.
Okay. So here's my thing. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist. I don't understand episode 1 because in my heart of hearts, I really believe they should have flipped episode 1 and 2 because episode 2 gives you the backstory.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, it is a second series.
So?
People have seen this shit like 1,000 times.
So we should have watched the first series.
No. Okay, so they are completely different. It's very weird. It's a very weird situation. The first series started when... What?
I'm just pointing at you.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at something in my head.
No.
But the first series started when the manga wasn't finished, and when they caught up, they had to make up some bullshit ending. So the second one, they started when the manga was done, so they just followed that completely.
Okay.
So that's what the difference is.
Okay. So, like I said, I was really confused for the first episode. I mean, I understood what they were doing, but not having the backstory of Edward and Alphonse, it didn't make... I didn't understand.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So in episode 2, getting the backstory, that ended up clearing a lot of stuff up as far as what was going on in episode 1.
Yeah.
So I can say, honestly, that I'll continue to watch it. At least until I get to a series that I go, wow, this is fucking trash. And then I text her.
Listen, it's not bad.
The weird thing, what I thought was weird about Full Metal Alchemist is how when they do their surprise looks, they change the art completely.
Yeah.
It's
and
like it goes from really nice, good artwork to it looks like a 2-year-old drew the shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a really big aspect they do in a lot of anime focused towards like teens and younger audiences. It makes it look silly. Shonen.
Okay. So an episode that we're going to come up, that we're going to do probably in the next couple weeks, is anime terminology. And we're going to spend 37 minutes.
Oh shit, that's a long time.
I mean, I think you can come up with things to talk about in 37 minutes because there's enough
what yaoi means.
Lexicon. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it though.
Okay. I'll talk about
it is what it is. Yeah, of course you will. So overall, I enjoyed it. It was pretty interesting. I don't know that I completely understand what's going on yet, even with that number 2.
No, you won't. It'll take a minute.
Okay. So I was
like the first time I watched it, I was 12. I had no fucking idea what was happening.
So last year?
No.
I thought you turned 13.
No, I was talking about the first series. I'm not talking about Brotherhood. Brotherhood came out recently.
But I almost kept going to episode 3, and then I stopped myself and I said no, because I'll start talking about what was in episode 3.
Yep.
And my brain will get confused. But I also wanted to say, are you a real person, or do you just have a soul in you?
Yes.
Because you have the mark.
Oh, true. I do have Alphonse's blood seal tattooed on my back, so
Yeah.
that's a fun fact for y'all.
So there you go. So if you haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist, I'd say go check it out and do that. So I don't have any more to say on that. Do you have any more to say on that?
No.
Listen.
I mean, most people have watched that one. It's super popular. A lot of people who just get started do watch that one as one of their first
Things
anime.
they watch.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, cool. We're gonna take a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Actually, 3, and then we'll get into animes that are underrated and that you should check out. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. Welcome back, one and all. Yeah, so as I said, tonight we're talking about underrated anime that you should probably check out. And this opinion is coming from her, from Shotokan, not from me, because, well, you know, I don't know crap about anime, and I'm starting to learn, but yeah, I don't know. So there you go. So how did you decide that these particular anime were going to be on the list?
So I decide based on essentially how I felt about them and if I feel like it should be something that everyone watches. Because I go into anime thinking, you know, oh, we'll see how it is. I'll give it a couple episodes. And if I give it a couple episodes and then I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to have to finish this right now, then that's how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how I came up with this list are these are ones that I really enjoyed. Some of them are pretty old, and then most of them are pretty new. So they won't be too hard to find. But these are ones that I have watched, and I was like, wow, I really wish my friends would watch these so I can talk about it.
Right.
Some anime I watch, and I'm like, that was pretty okay, but I don't really give a shit much about ever watching it again. These are ones that I have seen at least twice over.
Okay. So,
and,
like, the first one is, like, one of your favorites.
Yes, it's one of my absolute favorites.
That's why you put it.
Ever, yes.
So you had an alternative motive?
You're right.
Okay. Just making sure.
It is long, but when I first started watching it, it only had 2 seasons.
Okay.
So, and then, you know, I heard 3rd season's coming out. I'm like, oh, shit, you know, this is great. And then they popped out 4, 5, 6 just like that. So,
like, Netflix style, you had to binge watch them all?
Well, no, they came out weekly, but,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
They didn't do, like, hey, we're going to release Punisher series season 2. Here's all your episodes, and it ruins your life for the weekend because you got to sit there and watch the entire thing. In one sitting.
I mean, no, but if you decide to pick this one up and watch it, it does have 6 seasons, with 13 episodes each.
Yeah. So it is available. It is available on Crunchyroll.
Yep.
And I briefly looked at it.
It's precious.
I'm gonna say it's probably not one I'm gonna enjoy very much.
Yeah, probably not. The name of the anime that we're talking about is Natsume Yujincho, but the English name is Natsume's Book of Friends.
Wait, it's about friendship?
Heck yeah, it's about friendship. It actually began airing in 2008. It started off with the first series is Natsume Yujincho, and then season 2 came pretty soon. Since it is old, the art style for the first 2 seasons is different than the more recent ones, but I do think it looks a lot better now, and the animation did get an upgrade. This one is actually pretty popular in Japan.
Okay.
I honestly, I don't know how popular it is over here. I have never heard anyone else talk about it that I know.
Okay.
So this is why I put this one on the list. I do think if you don't watch a lot of anime, it's probably not something that most people have seen.
Okay.
Like I said, it has 6 seasons, 78 episodes total, so it will take up a lot of time. It is a story about Natsume, who he can see spirits. And so
He sees dead people.
no, like he does see ghosts, but I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm just.
Quit messing with my mic, bro. Um, it goes through, his childhood was rough. He lives with family members. He's passed around essentially until he finally meets like friends of family member that he stays with. And so he's always been, outcasted and has had like trouble because he can see spirits and no one believes him, of course, when he says it. So eventually he kind of holds up and doesn't talk about it anymore. He's usually keeps to himself. Throughout the series, he does make a lot of friends and it's really heartwarming.
Okay.
Yeah. And so each episode kind of goes through spirits. And so what happens was with the Book of Friends, his grandmother, her name was Reiko, she could also see spirits. And so she has this book of spirits' names.
So he inherited it from grandma?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the names, once you get a spirit's name, they're contracted to you, essentially. So what he's doing is he's going back and giving all the names back to the spirits
Okay.
that she got the names from. And so every time he gives one back, there's always like an emotional story behind each one.
Because he's friends with them.
Yeah, well, he does have kind of like a mascot character that follows him around. His name is Nyanko Sensei, but his real name is Madara. He's a really powerful spirit. But normally you see him as this fat little cat. It is super cute.
Is that the bongo cat?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Yep. I have cried happy and very sad tears over this anime. I really can't explain why, because there's this one episode about a teacup, and I cried my eyes out.
Over a teacup?
Yeah. Yep.
Did it break the teacup?
It broke. But it was a spirit.
They didn't have any Gorilla Glue?
No.
Damn.
I remember that's one that I remember crying my eyes out so hard about a fucking teacup. But it was that's how they get you emotionally invested. It's very emotional, the stories behind, how the spirits got their names written in the book and stuff.
Okay. So
10 out of 10. Watch it now. Thanks.
Okay. So what is it something that the quote typical anime fan would enjoy watching?
I think so, yes. If you like something that you can there's something floating around. If you like something that you can watch and it'll be chill and you don't want to have to stress over like a super dark storyline or tragic events unfolding, it's very chill is what I can say. The music's good. There are some really cute funny moments. You get to see Natsume as he builds friendship with his classmates.
Friendship.
Excuse me, it is good. And it is pure, and he is the purest boy I have ever seen in my life.
Uh-oh. Masato's gonna be mad.
Natsume is a pure boy. I love
I thought Masato was pure boy.
Masato's my husband. If you want me to talk about Masato? Because I will.
So, what is the second one that you were gonna recommend?
The second one that I'm gonna recommend is called Sakamichi no Apollon, and the English name for that one is Kids on the Slope. You can find this on Crunchyroll. It aired in spring 2012, so it is recent. I don't
What
know
is this? Okay. You guys probably can't see it, but there's this little piece of fuzz that is just floating here.
And it's going like in circles.
And it left to the left, and then it all of a sudden just started back. Chat. We're gonna have to talk about this on Paranormally Speaking. My studio is haunted. Good thing I'm moving into the other room.
Yep.
Sorry,
So
go ahead.
the second one we're talking about is Sakamichi no Apollon. Kids on the Slope is the English name.
I got it. Sorry. Continue.
You spooked me.
Did you jump?
Yes. It has one season with 12 episodes, and I like to lovingly call this one Jazz the Anime, because that's essentially what it is. So a boy named Koronashimi moves to Kyushu for high school. He moves around a lot, so he's never really made any lasting friendships, and he's kind of outcasted as, the rich new rich boy that moves in town. So in the beginning of the show, he meets like a rumored delinquent by the name of Sentaro. And
Centauro.
Yeah, and he plays drums. And Koru, who they call Richie, Rich Boy, he plays piano, and he's always played classical. But when he meets Centauro and he sees him playing the drums, he sees that he's playing it freely and how he wants to, and he's not bound by the terms of like music on paper.
So like timing.
Yeah. So, Koru really speaks to him, and so he wants to start playing jazz. But when he first starts, he's frustrated because he's still playing jazz as he hears it from someone else, and he's not really playing it for himself.
All right.
So it goes through how Koru, or Richie is what they call him mostly through the show, builds friendship with Centauro, and they learn to play really great music together. It's about friendship. I can't say without laughing.
The running theme of this entire podcast is it's about friendship.
Yep. But yeah, there is kind of a love triangle that goes on. Yeah, right. Spicy. So there's this girl named Ritsuko that Richie really likes, and he wants to impress her and stuff. And then they do like a show at school, and it's really nice. But the music, the soundtrack of this anime is phenomenal.
Do you have it on your iPhone?
I do not, but I do have it on my computer.
Okay. Well, then we can't listen to it going to the Ramens.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's really great. And if you like jazz or if you like music in general, I would really highly suggest this one.
Okay. And you said that is available on Crunchyroll.
It is. You can find that one on Crunchyroll. It's short and sweet.
Would I like
12 episodes. You might, if you like music a lot. The art style is interesting. It is based in. It's old. It's based in a different timeline. It's like based in I can't remember the year. I don't remember. It was a while ago. I have actually seen this one 3 or 4 times over.
Okay.
I really like it. It's good.
Full Metal Alchemist. Edward and Alphonse's mother died in 1904.
Rest in peace. She did deserve it.
I remember.
Okay.
I paid attention.
Numbers really fuck me up. I can't remember numbers very well.
History major.
Yeah, right. Okay, it's so funny. Side story real quick. We used to have in my in one of my classes, my professor used to make us memorize a list of 100 dates.
Okay.
And then quiz us on those dates. So the date, it would be like a date and then an event that happened. You know how many people passed those tests? Guess how many people?
College educated.
Yeah, I went to college, guys. Guess how many people passed those tests?
0.
None. We all failed. And then he gave us a 30-minute lecture about how terrible students we are, and all of us were just like, yeah, but can you like not put that grade in our books though? And he didn't. And he made us do it 2 times, and he's like, you know what? We're not doing these tests. College is great, guys. It really is.
Sounds like he was trying to push the memorization method.
We tried so hard, but we fucked it up so bad every time. I think the highest grade I made on one of those tests was like a 40.
Wow.
I know, it was hard.
I mean, I guess I understand with your capacity for remembering things.
Yeah, but it wasn't just me. Everyone flunked that shit, dude. It was awful.
Well, I can't speak for everybody else.
Oh god, he lectured us so hard, man. He was so mad.
So that's Kids on a Slope.
Yes, yeah,
because I'm not going to try to say the other name. All right, next one, and you have any more on you want to say on that one?
Nope, that was good.
And the next one we couldn't find free anywhere.
Free.
Well, okay, legitimate free. I did find. Was that the one I found the box set on Amazon for $94?
No, I think it was a different one.
I thought that was that one.
I actually picked this one up last weekend at Second and Charles for $11.
Okay.
So, I think that if you go on eBay,
it's the same one. Maybe it was.
If you go on eBay, you can probably find it used for dirt cheap because it isn't.
Nobody uses eBay.
Well, you can go rightstuff.com. They probably have it pretty cheap too. This one aired in summer of 2014, and it has 1 season with 11 episodes. It is short, but in that short time, You feel a lot of emotions and shit really goes down.
Okay.
So this one's called Zonkyo no Terror. The English name is Terror in Resonance.
Okay.
So 6 months after a terror attack on a nuclear facility, in Japan, a video surfaces of two boys calling themselves 12 and 9. And so they take credit for the attack and they call themselves Sphinx. That's what their group is. And so they actually challenge police to stop them.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about this one too much, just because there is a lot of shit that goes down and it's really chaotic.
Okay.
But in the back, these boys have tragic backstories, and so as you go through and you watch the anime, you actually see a lot of kind of like the reason why they do all this. And so there is a side romance that goes on.
Hentai.
No, wrong, very wrong. That goes on between one of the boys and a girl that gets caught up in
friendship.
Their escapades. Well, it's more of a romance.
It's a kind of a friendship.
It's very thrilling. Once
benefits.
I started watching it, I couldn't stop watching it. I had to finish it because I had to know what happened.
Okay.
It is really good though. And like I said, I picked it up for $11 the other day, and that's why I remembered about this one.
And that was just the. Is that one? Are they done with that one?
It is
that
done.
One never going to have another season?
Yeah, well, they can't.
It's one of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
yep.
I guess they weren't thinking about marketing and going forward.
I really liked it. I put this one on the list because I don't think a lot of my friends haven't seen it, and I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about it, but I really did like it. And I feel like if you like a politically charged type thriller anime, I think this one would be good because it makes it very complicated the way that it goes through.
Okay.
It is good though. I really did like it.
Okay.
The next one.
Well, and to prove that it's not very popular, and it's not on any of the platforms that we looked.
Yeah, you might have to do some digging, wink, to find this one. Like I said, check out some your local used stores. Got this shit for $11.
Was it actually used at Second Charles?
Yeah, but it looked brand new. I had some trouble ripping the sticker off. Though.
Except for the first episode was just trash, and then the rest were still factory sealed.
Came in one box. Yeah, it is short, so you don't have to devote a lot of time to it. You can probably watch it in a day.
Okay.
The next one I want to talk about is Aka 13ku Kanatsuka. You can watch this one on Crunchyroll. Just type in Aka, it's ACCA, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. It aired in winter 2017, so this one is very recent. I watched this one straight through after it was finished, because it wasn't one of the ones that I had on my initial list.
Okay.
Because I make lists every season of things I'm going to watch. And I went back and I was like, this one looks okay. I think I'm going to watch it. And I watched the entire thing in a day. There is one season with 12 episodes, so it doesn't really take too long to binge it. So Aka is the national body of Doha, which is kind of like a kingdom. So Aka does provide national services and was established as a peace settlement between the king and the 13 states during a revolt period.
Revolting.
Yes.
Okay.
Terrible. So this is based 100 years after the revolt and the settlement or whatever. And then, so right now what's happening is there are rumors of a coup d'etat.
Okay.
So the main character, his name is Gene Otis, and he is second in command in the inspection department. So his job is to go around to all of the 13 kind of like states and inspect the governments there to, try and see where the rumors are coming from and what's going on. This was good because there was a very big plot twist at the end, and it really surprised me.
Okay.
Gene is a really likable character too, and he has, characters around him that help him, and it's really cool. The plot twist really killed me. I can't say it. I can't say what it is.
Well,
but
good idea. Don't say it.
Yeah, it's good. If you liked political themed mystery type anime, this one would be good.
Okay.
The art style is a little different, but I think that's what I liked about it, and I think that's what initially caught me onto it. But I really did like this one. I honestly liked it more than most of the anime that season, and surprisingly, it was the last one that I watched.
It ruined the rest of anime for you for the season.
Yeah, it did, and I was so pissed because I watched it and it was so good, and I was like, "What do I watch now?" I remember talking to one of my friends. Huh?
Uda Pre.
I have seen Utapri so many times. I cannot tell you.
But I mean, you're always willing to watch it again.
You're right. I have seen it with all of my friends at least once.
Okay.
Um.
And Jolter, at least 12.
Yeah, we watched it. He has to know about my husband. I don't know. You know,
Was he awake for it?
He was. We watched it. He likes Otoya. He's a good boy.
Okay.
So yeah, moving on.
So he's gonna fight you for Masto's hand.
Wrong. So the next one I kind of want to talk about is Samurai Flamenco.
So it's about a flamingo that goes to Japan and learns to be a samurai.
Yes.
'Kay.
Wrong. You can actually find this one on Crunchyroll. I remember when it came out, I had a hell of a time finding this one to watch.
It's on Crunchyroll though.
I know, but that's now. It came out in fall of 2013, and it has one season with 22 episodes.
Okay.
I like this one. I initially got started on this one because the art for the show, like the concept art and promotional art, was done by one of my favorite artists, Chinatsu Kurohana, who also did the art for Utapri and the Utapri games. Yes.
Explanations not needed anymore.
I know, so that's why I started watching this one. So she did promotional artwork and stuff for it. And so I was like, you know what? I'll check it out. The characters look cute. And it was not what I expected at all. It really surprised me. I really like the concept of it. So it starts off 19-year-old Hazama Masayoshi, that's a mouthful, is a model who wants to be a superhero.
Okay.
So it starts off really lighthearted, essentially. So he dresses up in a ridiculous costume and tries to stop crime around the city. So he tells people to not litter, or he tells people not to put, recyclable trash in other trash piles. Yeah. Or he'll tell people to not smoke in non-smoking areas. It's crazy. And he gets his ass kicked all the time. Because people are like, "Are you serious, bro?" And they just beat his ass. He gets himself in trouble.
Dude, I'm not even that violent of a person, and I want to whoop his ass.
No, he's a cute boy. But he really wants to be a hero. And, there's some stuff that goes on, and, his grandpa, he finds out that his grandpa is actually, a big hero advocate also. So he really wants to make his grandpa proud, except he's dead.
His grandpa also advocated for recycling and...
Yeah, and Masayoshi has, he always watches, hero TV shows, and it's funny because when he invites, a friend over, and they're eating food in his apartment, it's curry that was, branded with, a hero name or something. It's just ridiculous.
So, in this universe that this is set in, are superheroes real?
I'll get to that in a second. So, basically, the first part of it is him getting into stupid, crazy shenanigans as he tries to do good deeds around the city. And so, this eventually leads him to becoming friends with a cop named Goto Hidenori. And so, Goto always bails this dude out of trouble. If Goto wasn't around, he'd be dead, honestly. So, like I said, it's fun and silly at first, but events quickly unfold and it gets dark.
Right.
Shit goes down. And I was very surprised at the turn. I did not expect it to go that way.
No, you can keep talking.
Oh, sorry. But, all of that being said, there is, a big emphasis on the friendship and bond that Goto and Masayoshi have together. They rely on each other throughout the anime, and a lot of people say that it's pandering, but it's fine. It goes through
pandering to friendship.
Yeah, friendship.
I mean, But, yeah, never mind. I was gonna say if they're pandering to friendship, every anime, including the alternative styles of anime, are pandering to friendship.
Listen, it's fine. But this one, I don't know. It's just hard to explain because I don't want to say what happens because with the first part of the anime, you would never expect like what happens later on. So I don't want to give any spoilers out. It's really hard not to. I'm trying.
So it's not typical predictable.
Yeah, it's kind of like wonky Batman, but then
Wonky
shit gets
Batman.
real. Yeah.
Is there a wonky Joker?
No.
God damn it. Want my money back.
There are enemies that show up later. So
Are they really bad litterers?
no. See, that's what I'm saying. There are actual enemies that show up and do cause lots of problems.
Okay.
So he essentially becomes like the hero he wanted.
Not the hero we need.
He is the hero we need. Masayoshi's a good boy. But the friendship between Goto and Masayoshi really builds throughout the series, and you get to see like the end game for all that. They essentially become best bros. And when it was first Goto just trying to get Masayoshi off the streets, he's like, "Look, dude, you're causing more problems than you need. Then you're helping out."
It was like that that guy that lived up in Washington that decided he was a superhero a few years back.
I saw that.
And
like some vigilante
yeah,
type
vigilante.
shit.
I forget what the name he went by, but
I've seen pictures of him.
yeah, he's like wore a yellow suit.
Yeah. But I do recommend this one. It is a little bit older. It is in Crunchyroll, so you can find it. 22 episodes.
It's only 5-6 years old. It ain't that old.
Yeah. Well,
I
watch so much shit that it's old to me. Okay, listen.
If that's old to you, what am I, fucking grandpa? Okay, next one.
The next one I want to talk about is Danshi Kokosei no Nichijou. The English name for that one is The Daily Lives of High School Boys.
Wonder why you like this one.
I watched it because I'm like, high school boys? What do you mean? And so it aired in winter 2012. It has one season with 12 episodes. This is the funniest shit that I have ever watched. It cracks me up so hard. Like, you can go to YouTube and type in The Daily Lives of High School Boys, and they have clips of the show, and they are ridiculous. They really are. My favorite clip that I've seen is they were playing ping pong, and one of the characters, Tadakuni, they were like, yeah, we'll play ping pong, and we'll do, every time they go to hit it, they have to answer, like, a question. So they did, like, the moons of Jupiter. And he's like, how the fuck am I supposed to know this? And then they were like, foreign presidents. It's every time they hit it, and yeah, he's having a hard time. But it was funny. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a comedy series following mostly three boys, Hidenori Yoshitake and Tadakuni, at Sanada North High School. It's relatable. So there's this one scene too where they're walking home and they find a stick and they come up with like this RPG roleplay type thing, and they're just hitting each other with a stick. It's crazy.
So it's like old school Twitch. Just making shit up as you go.
Yeah. It's hilarious. There's scenes where some girl thinks this dude's in love with her because they both are on a riverside at like in the evening. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Or they get Tadakuni to put on his sister's skirt, and then she comes home and beats his ass. It's just stupid. It's so funny. I can't explain. Every time I try to explain how funny it is, you just look at me like I'm dumb.
No, it sounds like it's not that you're dumb. It sounds like the series is weird.
It's literal wonky boy high school shenanigans.
Okay.
I love that
wonky boy high school shenanigans. Yes. No, make a note of that.
Silly boys.
And friendship.
Really silly boys.
And friendship.
Yeah, there's some bros. It's hilarious. A lot of people.
Not anywhere that we can find free.
Wink.
Listen.
Yeah, but it's hilarious. It cracks me up, dude. I really like that one. If you're looking for something lighthearted and you want to laugh for 12 episodes, I highly suggest that one.
And you like high school boys.
Not in real life.
Okay.
Banned.
So,
Banned.
yeah. So this is the last episode of Weeaboo Weekly. I've been your host, and this one's fault.
I'm sorry. Forgive.
Continuing on.
The next one I want to talk about is Bakuman. It
Batman?
aired. No. Bakuman?
Okay.
It aired. I'm saying Bakuman, which is Bakuman is how it's spelled.
Yeah.
It aired in fall 2010. It is one season with 25 episodes, and this is an anime about a manga about a guy who writes a manga.
So it's all kinds of fourth wall.
Yes. So Moritaka Mashiro wants to become a mangaka because his uncle was one, and he was pretty popular. He was pretty successful, but when he died, he was really distraught, and he was like, I'm going to give up on trying to become a mangaka like my uncle. And he starts to, really focus in school and study, and he's just like, I'm going to become a salary man, like everyone else.
Right.
But when he's in school, his classmate and aspiring writer, Akito Takagi, asks him, after he sees a drawing in his notebook, to become a mangaka with him. And that is someone who writes...
what?
A mangaka. So that's someone who writes manga.
Okay.
So he wants to... So Akito writes really good stories, and essentially Mashiro can draw really good, right? So perfect team. And so they start trying to enter like one shot like competitions.
Okay.
So they can get serialized and start, a series.
Okay.
And so Mashiro has a crush on Miho, which is one of his classmates, and she wants to become a voice actor.
Okay.
So he, when he expresses his feelings to her, he's like, I'm going to make a manga that becomes popular enough to get an anime so you can voice it.
Okay.
And so that goes through the premise. There is a romance. Like I said, he, accepts, or he confesses his feelings to Miho, and, it goes through that. And so there's not only the hardships and things that go through when you're a mangaka. So they go through all of that. They go through him graduating school and, getting series and series and series. And so he goes through different ones. And so there's also the romance between him and Miho that go through. So it's kind of like a romance. Yeah.
So friendship.
Yeah. Well, him and Akito are friends.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's an anime about a manga about a dude who writes a manga.
That wants to have an anime.
Yeah.
Okay. Not on Crunchyroll. Not on Amazon Prime Video. Not on Netflix. You just have to find it.
Find it. Wink.
Yeah. And then we got one more.
Yep. This one is the silliest out of all of them.
Okay.
Minus the daily lives of high school boys. So this one is called Suritama. You can find this one on Crunchyroll. It aired in spring of 2012, and it has one season with 12 episodes. So a lot of the ones... It's sad because a lot of the ones that I put on here besides Natsume are short. Because Natsume is a long series. And the manga's still ongoing, so we might have a 7th season.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. I would die.
You mean a second season?
A 7th.
7th?
I was talking about Natsume.
Do what?
Never mind. So Yuki Sanada lives with his grandma, and so she moves around a lot for her job. So he's never really been able to make friends. And so when it comes to social environments or anything where he has to do any type of public speaking, like going up in front of the class and introducing himself, when he moves in, or reading in class or anything, he freezes and he feels like he's drowning.
Okay.
So he doesn't really feel like he can build friendships anywhere that he goes. But when he moves to the town called Inoshima and he meets Haru, which is a very outgoing, talkative, lively boy who calls himself an alien, who carries around a questionable water gun and a fishbowl with a beta fish in it that he talks to. I like to call this one Fishing Boys because they actually do. It's kind of like a mini sports anime.
Well, there's 2 episodes that have fishing in the title.
It's about fishing boys. So,
okay. Of course, it's Fishing Boys.
Yeah, this one goes through where Yuki tries to make friends, and so he does this by going fishing with some of the boys that are in town. It is a comedy, so there's lots of ridiculous shit that goes on. Like I said, Haru calls himself an alien. So there is a whole backstory that there's some dude trying to get Haru because he thinks he's an alien, and I don't know.
So it's not a second or like an alternate identity of Rogers.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's an anime.
Is he an alien? Watch it and find out. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. It is cute. The art style is very bright. It's very lively and happy. There's some weird shit. It's weird.
Wow.
It's so funny because there's like this weird thing that goes on the island, and all these people like dance around. Hi no, yoisho, yoisho na, and they
what?
Weird. Yeah, they do like this weird dance, singing thing.
Well, I've noticed most dancing in animes is a little bit weird.
If you talk about my husband, I swear to God.
I've never once watched that anime.
So we're gonna watch Utapri today. Thanks.
No.
Yes.
No, we're not. I told you I was willing to binge watch JoJo with you like 3 weeks ago. And yet we have not watched one episode.
All right, so
of JoJo.
I have it on my computer in 1080p.
I have it.
We can also watch it
Crunchyroll.
on
I could watch it on this
Yay.
TV. I could watch it on this TV. Or
one of your many computer screens.
Or one of 6 computer screens.
And then there's one under your desk.
Yeah, that one's not plugged. Well, and we don't count I'm not counting all the ones that we don't have plugged in, okay? I have like 30 that aren't plugged in.
It's fine.
So, there you go. You guys, if there's any animes that you think are underrated and that should be checked out, make sure you get back to us. You can tweet at us. Twitter is right below us down there. Use the hashtag WeeabooWeekly, and we'll make sure we see it. Also, you can leave it in the comments here on YouTube, or just send us a message on Twitch. So there you go. Check out our Discord. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we're going to do segment 3, which I don't know what we're doing. Oh, we're going to talk about the homework.
Yay.
We'll be back in a minute. It's amazing that I have to figure out how to do all this stuff at the same time as doing a show. So, also, I'm trying to figure out if I accidentally adjusted my mic instead of showed us mic.
Oops.
Anyway, so welcome back. One of the things we're doing every week now is we are assigning homework for the week. Last week's homework was to watch the first 2 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So, and we talk about it at the top of the show. I will say, like I said, I don't remember if I said it at the top of the show, but I will be continuing to watch that series just because I want to see what happens in the next episode. And this is why I got into JoJo, because I was like, I want to see what happens in the next episode. It's also the reason why Series 4 is trash.
I swear to God.
Because I don't give a fuck.
You son of a bitch.
I'm at a point where I don't give a fuck what happens in the next episode. But I am watching that again, too. So I watched Series 4 episodes 10 and 11 last night.
Okuyasu's a good boy.
Yeah. No. he's also a little bit annoying.
Shut
up. This week's homework is this other.
To watch Natsume Jincho episodes 1 and 2.
And it is available on Crunchyroll.
It is.
So I've got it in my queue to watch. I'll probably wait till the night before to actually watch it, so that I remember and I don't have to write notes.
I might actually have to watch these considering the series is so long. I've only seen the series through twice.
You should probably watch the homework. I'm just saying.
I've already watched my homework, but it might have been like 4 years ago.
Listen, but for now, so you remember what the hell happened.
I know what happens. I actually do remember what happens in the first episode of Natsume.
Okay. Well,
I'm not going to say it.
Let's not share. What is the plot? What is the whole premise of this series?
The series goes through. It follows a boy named Natsume, and he can see spirits. His grandmother could also see spirits, so the gene was kind of passed on. And so when she dies, she leaves. Well, she died before he was born, but when he moves in with various family members, because they pass him around, because they say that him talking about seeing spirits all the time is creepy and causes problems.
Okay.
So his grandmother leaves him what's called the Book of Friends, and it is a book that has spirits' names in them that they have written in there. And when they write their name in the book, they're essentially contracted to whoever has the book. So what he's doing is he is going to go back and give. What are you doing? He's going to go back and give all these spirits their names back. And so every time he does, he gets the backstory of, how his grandmother got the names of these series. What are you doing?
Don't worry about it. Just continue talking.
He gets the backstory of these spirits and how his grandmother got their names.
Please ignore the man behind the curtain. I'm trying to do producer duties plus hosty duties. And I just confirmed that The Sixth Sense did come out well before this. I smell dead people. Don't give me that evil fucking look.
But yeah, Natsume is a really heartwarming story.
Okay.
There are happy tears and sad tears that I have cried over this 6-season anime. The manga is still ongoing, so we might have future seasons. It is actually pretty popular in Japan, so I do expect to see at least something. Okay.
And again, this one's available on Crunchyroll, so you can watch it for free. I didn't check Prime Video for this one or Netflix, but I basically, if I found a source where these things were free to watch, that's what we're listing. So, and the one thing for this homework, we've kind of agreed that anything we give homework for will be you can watch somewhere for free. So, without breaking any rules. So, there you go.
Buy the DVDs.
You could also buy the DVDs. I mean, you could, but I don't want to force people to have to pay to do our homework. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe buy the DVDs.
Maybe buy the DVDs. Whatever.
Natsume is a good boy, and he deserves it.
Natsume is a good boy. Everybody's a good boy.
Natsume is the purest good boy.
I thought we're not going to get into the Masato being the pure boy. I thought Masato was a pure boy.
You want to talk about Masato?
Not really.
Okay.
Maybe someday we'll have Sho to do her show all by herself, and she can just, for an hour, talk about Masato.
Yeah, I can show my collection, which is 500 items strong.
Boy.
Yep.
I don't...
I've spent a lot of US dollars on my husband. And that doesn't even include the money I've spent on the game.
Boy, and let me just tell you, I've seen the games on your phone. You have way too many anime games.
Leave me and my boys alone.
And they're all the boys.
All the boys.
Anyway, you guys, that is it for this week's episode of Weeaboo Weekly. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for checking us out. We are live on Twitch every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Our pre-show starts at 7:45 p.m. If you want to get a hold of us, our Twitter is right below us. I'm GeezerHD. This is Shotokan. You can join our Discord I think, I should probably put Discord in the info section on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you're on Twitch, you can just do !Discord in the chat. And you can get to our Discord. We have a whole section there that's talking about the Weeaboo Weekly. So there's chit chat and chit talking.
Yep. Please come in so I can talk shit about your favorite anime.
So there you go, guys. Thank you again for hanging out. We love you faces, and we'll see you next week. Bye.